Hello everyone, Matty Moore here from Pro Swing of Portchester, and today we have a great tip of the week. We have Coach DeFabio, former professional baseball player, infield specialist, and one of the coaches at Fordham University. Today we have a great infield tips to make you a better infielder. So Coach, take it away.
We just want to work on our 3 steps to becoming a better infielder. First thing we want to talk about is baseball ready position. Okay, pre-pitch movements, get into baseball ready position. Then we want to go from fielding position into throwing position, and how to get into a proper throwing position.
All right, let's get into it.
First part is our pre-pitch movements to baseball ready position. When we get into that position, we want to make sure we're on the balls of our feet, and what I like to do is I like to sway side to side. Okay, I'm swaying side to side while the pitcher's in his windup, ready to deliver the pitch. As soon as he delivers the pitch to home plate, I want to make sure I hop up slightly, get on the balls of my feet, and make sure I'm as tall and as upright as I possibly can. What we want to avoid is that myth of this being called ready position. What we like to call ready position is upright, balls of our feet, palm of our glove facing home plate.
So when coaches say get in a ready position, you don't want to see kids go down into their field. You're saying that's a fielding position.
We want to try to avoid going down as low as possible, because at this point, as soon as the balls hit our way, we're going to have to get upright again. So in order to get rid of the wasted motion, we like to stay up as upright as we possibly can. Okay, so again, we want to sway side to side. When the pitcher delivers the ball to the plate, we want to get a little hop, get on the balls of our feet, and this allows us to go into any direction we need to go. Once we're in our baseball ready position, we're on the balls of our feet, our hands out and upright. Once the ball's hit towards us, we want to go attack the baseball and move towards it every single time, okay? No matter how hard the ball is hit, we want to make sure we go from baseball ready position, attack the baseball, and get down into fielding position. Good fielding position, we say all the time, is bend both knees at the same time, get our hands out, get our butt down, and make sure our chest and eyes are up, okay? That's what we call proper fielding position.
Now I have a question, Coach. Sometimes when I see clinics, I see kids, I see them bend at the waist sometimes. So instead of bending, I see a lot of this. What's negative about that?
What we want to try to create is we want to try to create an equilateral triangle. So when we bend 2 knees at the same time, get our butt down, get our hands out, get our chest up, we want to make sure our glove is in front of our head. Okay? We can check to see if an infielder is fielding properly by seeing where the glove is in relationship to the head. Okay? If the glove is in front of the head, we know they're in proper fielding position. If the head is in front of the glove, we know that they're bending at the waist and not at the knees. When we're in proper fielding position, when our hands are out, we want to make sure we're fielding the baseball inside the left leg, underneath the left eye. The reason we want to do this is so we have 2 eyes behind the baseball. Because no matter what infield position we play on the diamond, first base is always to our left. So if we field the ball on the left side of our body, I'll have 2 eyes behind the ball, and I can see the ball with both eyes clear as day. Okay? We want to make sure our hands are positioned at 6 and 2. Another myth that we hear for coaches, we want to look like an alligator at 6 and 12, but what we want to avoid is not being able to come into this direction. We want to have a nice relaxed position, so at 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, our thumb wants to be up so we can have more of the glove on the ground. All right, just a quick note. What we want to avoid, another myth that a lot of coaches tell us, is they want to see the top of our cap when we're fielding a ground ball, so they want to look into this position when they're catching the ball. Now, if we go from fielding position, which we're in right now at 6 o'clock and 2 o'clock, glove out in front, thumb up, hands out, our eyes are going to be out in front, okay, not down, and we're going to see what we want to do from this position is go from our fielding position into throwing position by bringing our body to the baseball rather than bringing the baseball to our body. So we're trying to avoid this movement. We want to get into this movement, okay? So we call that getting through the baseball. So we want to have our butt down, hands out, body to ball, and get through the ball on contact, as opposed to ball to body, cap, chin down, top of the cap, and now trying to get into throwing position. Our coordination, our rhythm is not there anymore. So, recap. We went from pre-pitch movements to baseball ready position. From baseball ready position to proper fielding position. Now in the third phase, we go from proper fielding position into throwing position, okay? When we go from proper fielding position to throwing position, we want to create that rhythm and continue with that good rhythm. And what we want to do is make sure that we replace our glove with our throwing foot. And again, bring our body to the ball as opposed to our ball to the body. So it looks like this, okay? What we want to remember when we go from fielding position to throwing position, as soon as our throwing foot goes forward, our throwing hand goes backwards. So in this case, if our right foot goes forward, our right hand goes backwards, okay? The other point we want to stress when we go from fielding position to throwing position is to get our chin to our glove shoulder. So when we take our right foot forward and our right hand back, we get our chin to our front shoulder into a strong position. So again, we want to be strong on the front side, so again, we can be strong on the back side when we throw the baseball.
And I can see you're kind of coming up like a plane. You're creating some momentum. I guess that's a key.
Great point. We never want to go from down to up. If we go from down to up, we generally spike the baseball in the ground. So if we continue with our rhythm of being aggressive to the baseball, replacing our glove with our throwing foot, we want to make our way up into a strong power position like an airplane taking off on a runway.
So now we've made our throw, but I feel like there's one more step we can't short on, which I see a lot of kids do.
Absolutely. Remember, the first thing we talked about, we want to have rhythm and routine throughout the whole course of fielding the ground ball. We go from pre-pitch steps to a hop into a baseball-ready position. We go from baseball-ready position, we attack the baseball into fielding position. We go from fielding position into proper throwing position. Once we release the baseball, we need to continue in the direction of our throw, taking the stress off the arm and really putting it on the lower body, which is where we develop all our arm strength from. I always like to say, it's like a snowball going down a hill. Okay, once I get into my baseball-ready position, if the ball's hitting my way, I want to be that snowball. I don't ever want to stop my rhythm.
All right, that was a fantastic tip, Coach. I want to thank you so much for helping us out with that. This is our infield specialist, Coach DeFabio. So you're going to see him week after week. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Pro Swing's Tip of the Week. Tune in next week for another tip that's going to make you a better baseball player.
Thanks, Matty.